Hi everyone. In our last presentation session, we covered topics on Unix and single POSIX specification. How portability was achieved in Unix operating system. We saw those things. We saw the usage of path variable. So suppose if you are executing a particular command, that command path can be stored in a variable called as path. So there will be some standard list of paths that can be stored in path variable. So once a command needs to be executed, so your command interpreter or the shell will search in that particular path variable. If the command is there, then it gets executed. So otherwise you need to specify the entire path. One such example for a command is date. So once you execute date command, there is no need to specify the complete path. So date command will be searched in the path variable. So it will locate that particular date program and it will execute the date command. Then also we saw what do you mean by an internal command and what do you mean by an external command. So in this particular session, we shall try to see the structure of a command. So whenever you are trying to execute a command, so you need to give input to your command interpreter or also which is called as shell. So once you give input to your command interpreter, you are just giving commands. So that command needs to have a structure. And also in this session, we shall try to see what are all the different options or facilities available while you are executing a particular command. So the main intention of this particular session is to see how you can execute a command and what will be the structure of a particular command. So in order to understand the power of Unix operating system, the main important thing is to understand the syntax of an Unix command, because every interactions that takes place with the Unix operating system is with the help of commands. So you need to be aware of the syntax or the structure of Unix command so that you can efficiently communicate with your Unix operating system, because that is the basic part. Every interactions with the Unix operating system and the user will take place with the help of commands. So the syntax of particular command or an Unix command should be properly known. So your Unix command mainly as the below options or facilities. So I have given many examples for a command. For example, PWD, that stands for present working directory. And also you can give ls command. What will ls command do? It will list all the files present in a particular directory. One directory ಒಳಗೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ files ಇದೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲನೂ list ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. Apart from just giving the command, you can also use some options or some arguments, command arguments. Along with the command, you can use some arguments. Now we shall see what are all the different types of arguments you can use along with the command. ls is a command. Along with ls command, I can use some other arguments. What are all the different arguments I can use? We shall see in this particular topic. So, but whenever you are giving command and argument, they need to be clearly separated by space or tab space. Because once the command and the arguments are clearly separated, they will be interpreted as words by your command interpreter. So ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಶೆಲ್ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ನ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಒನ್ಸ್ ದ ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟ್ ದೆಮ್ ಆಸ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಈಸಿಯರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಇಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿಟರ್ ಆರ್ ಶೆಲ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ದೆಮ್. ಸೊ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಾನು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡಿಂಗ್ ಸಮ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ದೋಸ್ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಎನಫ್ ಆರ್ ಇಟ್ ಮೈಟ್ ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಕಾಂಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸ್ ಎನಫ್. So the arguments I am giving along with the command will be simple or it can be very much complex. So the next question you might ask is that what all we can include in an argument. ಒಂದು command argument ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ possibilities ಇದೆ, what all we can include. So whenever you are giving command argument, you can include options, you can include expressions. Expressions can be any expression. It can be arithmetic expression, logical expression. I can include any sort of expression. You can give some small instructions, just like copying from one file to another file, adding two numbers. You can give some small instruction or you can give a file name. So these are the four different arguments you can give along with the command: options, expression, instructions, and file name. Now we shall see all this of them in greater detail. The first one is options. So these options are broadly used along with the command. This is the most broadly used command argument. So apart from the command, you are giving some argument. So this option will be considered as the broadly used argument. So this option is a special type of argument which will be mostly used with the minus sign. So whenever you are using an option as an argument with the command, this option will be preceded by the minus sign. So that's what you should use with the option. It is generally used, the minus sign is generally used to distinguish it from file names or other arguments. So ಬೇರೆ ಫೈಲ್ ನೇಮ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಡಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ವಿಶ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಮೈನಸ್ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ನ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಪ್ರಿಸೀಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. Let us look at a small example to understand how options will work. As you can see in this particular example, I am using the ls command. What is the use of ls command? It is mainly used to list all your files in a particular directory. So along with the ls command, I am using -l. What will this -l option will do? It will give further amount of information with respect to all the files listed. Yavella files na list ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ, with respect to those files, it will give some extra amount of information. So in this particular case, I am using a file name. I am using the file name called as note. So with respect to file note, what are all the different information available that will be given because you are using the option called as -l. So your -l option will list all the attributes with respect to the file called as note. Note ಅಂತ ಏನು ಫೈಲ್ ಇದೆ ಅದ್ರ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಅಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲನೂ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಅಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೈಲ್ ನ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ದಿಸ್ ಶುಡ್ ಕಮ್ ಇನ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈನ್. So but it has came here. So it will give me the type of file. So minus indicates it is an ordinary file. ಸೊ ನೋಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ಫೈಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸಪೋಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಡಿ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ಫೈಲ್ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಮೈನಸ್ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ಫೈಲ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ 3 ಲೆಟರ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ಸ್ ರೀಡ್, ರೈಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಓನರ್, ಫಸ್ಟ್ 3 letters will be for the owner. The owner has been given all the 3 permission. He can read the file, he can write the file, also he can execute the file. Next 3 letters are for the group. So there are many users who can be branched or grouped into one particular group. So E muru with respect to group permission. With respect to group also, they are having all the 3 permission: read, write and execute. This indicates others. Apart from user and the group, ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಯೂಸರ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ನ ಈ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಫೈಲ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. So ಅವನಿಗೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಫಾರ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಆಲ್ ದ 3 permissions, that is read, write and execute. So this indicates file type, this indicates file permission for user, others, for user group and others. So this indicates the number of links to this particular file. So in how many other places this particular files has been accessed or it has been linked to. ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ನೋಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಫೈಲ್ ನ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಫೈಲ್ಗೆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಇದೆ, ಆ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ಸ್ ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. So since it has only one link, there are no other link. This is the only file content ಅನ್ನೋದು ತೋರಿಸುತ್ತೆ. So this is the owner name. Who has created this particular file? He will be the owner of the file. So Mahesh ಅನ್ನೋನು owner name, and this will be the group owner. So group owner also Mahesh and individual owner is also Mahesh. This indicates the file size in bytes, 811. Next, this indicates the last modified date. So ಈ particular note on a file na last ಏನು modify ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಆ time ನ ತೋರಿಸ್ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. So this is how you can make use of -l option along with the ls command. So options ಏನೇ ಇದ್ರು that needs to be preceded with the minus sign. Why you need to precede your option with minus sign? In order to distinguish it from other file names and arguments. So your -l command, when used along with the ls command, it will list all the attributes of this particular file called as note. So for what we have covered, your command can also be used with arguments. Your argument can consist of options, expression, instructions, and file names. So options has to be preceded with minus sign so as to distinguish it from other file names or arguments. So next we shall move on to one more example with respect to option. As you can see here, along with the ls command, I am using one more option called as minus z, but there is no such option called as minus z to be used along with ls. Minus z ಅಂತ ಯಾವುದೇ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ನಾನು ls command ಜೊತೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. That's why you will get a message from ls command. The message won't come from the command interpreter or the shell. So now since you are using option, the option is with respect to the command. So whatever the problems you are facing now, the message should come from the command. So ls command will give you a command illegal option minus z. It won't be from the shell because you cannot use minus z. And also one more advantage in Unix operating system is that you can combine the options into a single command. As you can see here, options can normally be combined with only one minus sign. That is, instead of using ls command, minus l, minus a, minus t, minus td, ಈ ತರ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ you can combine all these options with a single minus sign, so that the number of characters ಏನು key in ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ that will be reduced to a greater extent, and also there is no need to type that much, and also you can save some amount of memory. So these are all the things you need to remember with respect to options. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು illegal option. So ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ls command ಇಂದ illegal option ಅಂತ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಸುಮಾರು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ you can combine those options with a single minus sign. So next is file name arguments. So as I had already explained, you can use options as argument, you can use instructions as argument, and also you can use file name as argument. So here we shall try to see how we can use file name as arguments. Many Unix commands, sumar Unix commands galyenide, they will take your file name as the argument. So when you are giving file name as the argument, you are giving nothing but the file contents as input to the command. File ಏನು ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಆ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ನ ಆ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಗೆ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಗಿವ್ ಫೈಲ್ ನೇಮ್ ಎಸ್ ಎ ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್, ದ ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಫೈಲ್. So generally if you are giving file name as an argument, it will be the last argument. So that means first to command bandre, next options bandre, lastly you will be having the file name. So and also you can have multiple file names as argument. So there is no restriction to have only one file name as an argument. You can have multiple file name as an argument. There are many commands which will work with multiple file names. So Unix operating system alli tumbane commands, they will work with multiple file names. So if a particular command contains both options and file names, if the command with its arguments and options, that type of command, the argument can be anything, it can be instruction, it can be file name. Such a command can be called as command line. Aa command na command line anta karibodu. So once the user has completed entering the command, he has entered the command, he has entered the option, he has entered the file name arguments, he need to enter the enter key, you need to press the enter key. Then the complete line will be fed to your command interpreter or the shell. So then your shell or command interpreter will interpret that particular command and it will execute that particular command. Once the interpretation is complete, it will execute the entire command. As you can see, these are the examples where you can see your file names are also used as arguments. So you are using the ls command and using the options. You are using three options, LAT, all the options are used with a single minus sign. Then you are giving these three file names as arguments. So for all these three file names, this many number of options will be applied and the corresponding results will be displayed. So as you can see in this particular example, you are using only the file names as argument. You are not using any options. So rm is a command which is used to remove the files. So this will remove or delete chap1 and chap2. Next, CP is a command which is used to copy the contents from one file to another file. Copy contents. So here the contents of chap1 will be copied to chap1.bag. So this is how you can make use of your file name also as arguments, and also while using your file names as argument, you can use multiple file names. Your file names can also be combined with the options. So far we covered command structure, what are all the different types of arguments you can use, what are options, how you can use options. Next we covered how you can use file name as arguments. Now we shall see some exceptions. So are all commands, will all the commands present in Unix operating system except options and file names? The answer is no. There are some exceptions. That means there are some commands in Unix operating system which won't accept options or file names as argument. Now we shall try to look what are all those particular commands. So as you can see here, there are some commands that don't accept any arguments. You should execute the command individually or isolated manner. In an isolated manner, you should execute that particular command. It cannot accept any argument. There are also some commands that may or may not be specified with arguments. So you can specify a command with argument if needed. If not needed, then you can execute the command without any arguments. There is no compulsion to include the arguments. There are those commands also, but also on the other end there are commands which don't accept any argument at all. ಕೆಲವು ಕಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲವು ಕಾಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಆರ್ಗ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ಲೂಬಹುದು, ಕೊಡದೇನೂ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. As an example, I can see here you can use your ls command without any arguments, or you can use your ls command with argument with the corresponding option. So bari ls command idre it will list the file, along with -l option use madidre it will list the attributes of a file. What are all the different attributes we saw in the previous slide. So there are some commands which won't accept any arguments. So pwd is one such command where you cannot give any arguments. pwd will give me the present working directory. ನಾನು ಕರೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಯಾವ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ನ ನಿಮ್ಮ pwd ಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ದ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ. ಸೊ ದ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರಿ ನೌ ಇಸ್ root. So root is the current working directory. who command will list who are all the users who are currently logged onto the system. As I had already explained in my first two classes, your Unix operating system is a multi-user system. That means multiple users can simultaneously log on to your Unix operating system. Since multiple users can simultaneously log on to your Unix operating system, you can check who are all the users who have logged on to your Unix operating system with the help of a command called as who, who. It will list currently logged in users. As you can see here, there are two users who are currently logged in. Mahesh with terminal 7, this is the login time, and one more person with same name Mahesh with terminal PTS, and this is the login time. So these are the exceptions. There are some commands which cannot accept any arguments, and also you can use commands without arguments or with arguments. One best example is ls command. So these are all the things which need to be covered in this particular session. So far we covered command structure. So how you can give a command as an input to your shell or command interpreter. What are all the different types of arguments you can include in a command? What are options? Then we saw how you can give file name as arguments. And lastly, we saw, are there any exceptions to this particular command structure? So watch your presentation session. So far we covered 6 presentation session. Still, if you get any doubts with respect to any presentation session, you can ping your doubts so that I will be able to answer those doubts. Thank you.